What is the future of the Cuban embargo? What does the future hold for the Cuban embargo? This question is significant as it ties into the broader context of Latin American history and the Cuban Revolution. The embargo has been a major point of contention since it was first established in the early 1960s. Recently, the situation has shifted, especially under the current U.S. administration. After a brief period of easing during the Obama administration, the embargo has tightened once again. The Trump administration's approach, which began in 2025, has focused on a strategy of total pressure. This means that the U.S. government has imposed strict sanctions on Cuba's economy. These sanctions target entities controlled by the Cuban military, limit access to U.S. dollars, and restrict travel and remittances. One of the key components of this renewed strategy is the reactivation of the Helms-Burton Act. This act aims to deter foreign investment in Cuba by allowing U.S. citizens to sue foreign companies that do business with properties that were confiscated during the Cuban Revolution. Additionally, Cuba remains designated as a state sponsor of terrorism, which further complicates its international relations. The goal of these policies is to isolate the Cuban government economically and politically. However, the U.S. government claims to support the Cuban people by promoting internet access and free enterprise. They also oppose human rights abuses committed by the Cuban regime. Despite these claims, many Cubans face economic hardships due to the embargo. From a Latin cultural perspective, the embargo is often seen as a barrier to Cuba's economic development and sovereignty. It affects not only Cuba but also the entire Latin American region. Many view it as a symbol of U.S. interventionism, which complicates Cuba's ability to engage with the world. As for the future, current U.S. policies suggest that economic pressure on Cuba will continue. There are limited prospects for lifting or easing the embargo in the near term. Any changes would likely depend on shifts in U.S. political leadership and policy priorities. Improvements in Cuba's human rights record and political openness would also play a role. Until significant changes occur, the embargo will remain as a central factor shaping Cuba's economy and its relations with both Latin America and the United States. The future of the Cuban embargo is uncertain, but it will continue to impact the lives of many Cubans and the broader geopolitical landscape.